What's up, guys? It's your boy keepitrealedits. Basically, I have to keep my top off, guys. I'm absolutely scorching. It's a lot of heat here in the UK, so I'm just gonna keep it off for now. But yeah, I'm just gonna go through the UFC fight night, Blaydes versus Aspinall card for the fight night in London. It's gonna be a good card. The last one was amazing, definitely the best card of 2022. So hopefully this one is also a banger. So yeah. We'll just, like I said, we'll go from prelims all the way up, and I hope you guys enjoyed the last video. Please check it out. It's obviously the Rodriguez and Ortega card. My bets weren't that good. I went 5 for 8, I believe, on that. It's just one of those nights where nothing really went my way. I was frustrated looking at all the fights. I was so frustrated, but it is what it is. Right. So, first fight on the prelims is Claudio Silva versus Nicholas Dalby. Claudio Silva is a plus 220 underdog. Nicholas Dalby is a minus 260 favourite. I'm going to go with the favourite in Nicholas Dalby right here. I just believe he's just, at their points in their career, he's much better than Claudio Silva. I believe he's just going to get a 30-27 decision, or maybe even a knockout, but I'm going to go with 30-27 decision. I just think Claudio Silva's past it, and yeah, easy fight for Nicholas Dalby, in my opinion. Next fight up on the card is Mandy Bomb versus Victoria Leonardo. Mandy Bomb is a minus 130 underdog. Victoria Leonardo is a plus 110 underdog. Mandy Bomb looked terrible in her debut, and it was against Ariana Lipski. She looked terrible, but she is the taller, lengthier fight over Victoria Leonardo, and I know they're flyweights, so they're terrible fighters anyway, but I think Mandy Bomb is the less terrible fighter. Obviously, she's a minus 130 favourite, so I got Mandy Bomb winning by third round TKO by ground and pound. But like, obviously with women's MMA, right, it's like they're always weird stoppages. Like they're never like proper stoppages. The ref always steps in like really early, but I got Mandy Bomb taking that. Third round TKO to ground and pound shots. Next fight up on the card, this is a tough one for me. Jai Herbert versus Kyle Nelson. Jai Herbert is a minus 275 favourite. Kyle Nelson is a plus 230 underdog. Obviously, the elephant in the room, Jai Herbert has a glass chin, and that's why I don't believe he should be a minus 275 favourite. And I know Kyle Nelson is terrible, but I was going to go with Kyle Nelson, but I might have to trust in Jai Herbert's chin. It's tough. I'm going to go with Jai Herbert by second round knockout. I'm going to go with Jai Herbert with second round knockout. Jai Herbert is a good fighter, though. That's what people mistake. People forget that he dropped Ilia Topuria in that first round. And he is a good fighter, but his chin... I got him by second round knockout, because the thing is, when he gets into the third round, he's very easy to catch, and I believe he's going to know that, so he's going to get Kyle out of there in a second. So yeah, Jai Herbert, second round KO. I'm going to trust in his chin. Fuck it. Right, next fight on the card. For some reason, it doesn't have odds on the UFC website, but we've got Mohamed Mokaev versus Charles Johnson. It's a good scrap. I believe Charles Johnson is going to give Mohamed Mokaev a lot of problems on the feet, but I am going to go with Mohamed Mokaev going with a 29-28 decision. I believe he'll take the second and third round. I do think Charles Johnson will win the first round and give him problems, but it's a good learning curve for Mohamed. I mean, he's very young. I think he's the youngest fighter on the card, maybe. He was on the last UFC card, I think, him and... Corey McKenna. So yeah, I believe that he'll get it done 29-28. I just believe, he'll mix in the grappling and be able to eventually find his range and land certain shots here and there. But I think Charles Johnson's underrated, man. He will give him problems on the feet. But yeah, that's what I feel like it's going to go. Next fight on the card is Makwan Amirkhani versus Jonathan Pierce. Jonathan Pierce is a minus 215 favourite. Amirkhani is a plus 185 underdog. Oh, fucking flies everywhere, man. I'm going to go with Makwan Amirkhani. I believe he's better than Jonathan Pierce. I don't know why Jonathan Pierce is such a big favourite, but I am going to go with Amirkhani. I think he's going to knock out Pierce in the third round. I just see it happening, and logically speaking, I just believe he's the better fighter, and I believe he'll be able to mix it up against Pierce, and I know it's a tough fight, but I think Amirkhani is going to get it done. I believe he'll either get it done by third round TKO or by decision. I'm going to go with third round TKO, actually, yeah. I'm going to go with third round TKO. next fight on the card is Nathaniel Wood versus Charles Rosa, another featherweight bout. Nathaniel Wood's a minus 450 favourite. Charles Rosa is a plus 360 underdog. Fucking hate English. I'm going to go with Nathaniel Wood. He's such a massive favourite and is his debut at featherweight, I believe. I know he's a bantamweight, but he wanted to move up. He wanted to build himself up, which is fair enough, because he was an absolute massive tank of a bantamweight. Because don't forget, right, Nathaniel Wood is really good. He stepped up on short notice against Casey Kenny. He should have won that fight. He won that fight, let's be honest with ourselves. He's very good, technically, and I believe he'll make it a scrap against Rosa, but I believe he'll melt Rosa. I just don't think Rosa has the cardio to keep up, and I don't believe he has the necessary skills to do enough damage to Nathaniel Wood. So I got Nathaniel Wood winning by third round TKO against the cage. I just think Nathaniel Wood has got a lot of power. I feel like he'll translate. I feel like he'll have even better cardio because he's moving up. He doesn't have to cut so much weight. And I believe that he'll just be really strong. And I believe he'll build himself properly into this weight class like he said he wanted to do. So, yeah. Nathaniel Wood, third round TKO. My nose is itchy all the time, man. Hate that. Anyway, next fight on the prelims is Mark Diakiese versus Damir Hadzovic. I don't know why I struggle to say that. Mark Diakiese is a minus 305 favourite. Damir Hadzovic is a plus 255 underdog. I'm going to go with Mark Diakiese here. I believe he's going to get it done on the feet. I actually believe it's going to be a 30-27 decision. I think he'll almost knock out Damir. But I just believe Mark Diakiese is the better striker. And he can mix it up if he needs to. Like, the problem with Mark Diakiese is he only has a problem if the guy is a much better striker or, like, very unorthodox. Damir is not that unorthodox. He has a pretty simple style. I do see Mark Diakiese being able to take advantage of that and just take a cruise to a 30-27 decision where he maybe almost finishes Damir in, like, the second round. So, yeah, Mark Diakiese, 30-27. Right, headliner of the prelims, we have Mason Jones versus Ludovic Klein. For some reason, UFC also don't have odds on this fight. No idea. Look at that tan. That's stupid, right? Alright, well. But anyway, last Welsh fight that I picked, got embarrassed, but I'm still going to go with Mason Jones. Ludovic Klein is good. He's very good. But Mason Jones I know Mason Jones is coming up on short notice, but I still believe he'll have the better cardio than Ludovic Klein. And I think he'll be able to grind in the grappling and mix it in with the striking. And he has a very good chin, Mason Jones. And I believe he'll be able to take Ludovic Klein's shots, especially to the head. And I believe he'll be able to grind it up against the cage and just land a lot of shots, get him down, land ground and pound, and just cruise to a 29-28 decision where Ludovic Klein maybe steals the first or second round and Mason Jones just grinds it off for the other two. That's how I believe it's going to happen. So I got Mason Jones by 29-28 decision. I'm sorry if I keep changing the predictions mid-thing, but I'm like, if my initial prediction I say 30-27, but then at the end I just casually say 29-28, I meant 29-28 in the first place. I don't know, I can't speak today. Right. Opening up of the main card, we have Paul Craig versus Volkan Ozdemir. Volkan Ozdemir is actually a minus 165 favourite. Paul Craig is a plus 140 underdog. Get the money on Paul Craig, in my opinion. I believe Paul Craig has really evolved. He's been sparring with Tom Aspinall, so he's been improving his striking. He doesn't have to rely on haymaker wins anymore. I truly believe Paul Craig has this in the bag against Volkan. Volkan hasn't looked great recently. I think I got Paul Craig actually getting him down in the second and submitted him via rear naked choke. Volkan Ozdemir leaves his neck open too much and he's too open to getting submitted, in my opinion. So yeah, I got Paul Craig by second round submission by rear naked choke. Right, next fight on the card, right, is Molly McCann versus Hannah Goldie. Molly McCann is a minus 380 favourite. Hannah Goldie is a plus 310 underdog. I actually agree with this. I believe that Molly McCann is the one step above Hannah Goldie. I believe Molly McCann's got this in the bag. I believe she's just a better all-around striker. She's a better all-around mixer in with the grappling and stuff. I just believe Molly McCann's the all-around better fighter, and I believe she'll get it done by 30-27. I believe she'll win all 3 rounds. I think Molly McCann's got this in the bag, in my opinion. But yeah, that's how I see that going. Next fight on the card is Nikita Krylov versus Alexander Gustafsson. Nikita Krylov is a -190 favourite. Alexander Gustafsson is a +160 underdog. Right. Okay. This is an interesting fight because people underestimate Nikita Krylov so much, obviously since his last loss to Paul Craig. Based off the rankings and based off the logic of how that went, Paul Craig should be higher up on the card than Nikita Krylov. I don't know why this fight is higher up. Maybe because it's Gustafsson, I don't know. The UFC needs Gustafsson badly to win this fight. Because they're going to Sweden soon, I think it's in November. They need a Swedish fighter there, a proper Swedish fighter. Because I know Chimaev is technically Swedish, but he doesn't really represent Sweden as much. They need Gustafsson to win this fight. But I don't see it going to the judges. I see Nikita Krylov getting a submission. And people don't understand, right? I can see it, like, where I believe if it goes to decision and it's a very close fight, I think either way they'll give it to Gustafsson because they need him to win this fight. But I think Nikita won't allow it to go to the judges. I think he'll actually submit Gustafsson in the 3rd round in a very close fight where he's managed to grind him out and just get a submission. I believe that when Gustafsson is flat on his back, he doesn't know what to do. Or if he's flattened out on his knees, he just doesn't know what to do. And I believe Nikita will take advantage of that. And I see him getting an armbar. That's what I see. I see him getting him up against the cage. He's on his knees. He's landing ground and pound shots. He gets the back. And then he puts his leg over, gets the armbar. That's how I see it going because Gustafsson has no submission defense, really, unless he's improved, which I hope. I actually want Gustafsson to win, but I am going to bet with Nikita Krylov. Nikita Krylov's underrated, man. He's only like 30, and he's been around for so long, man. He's been around since like 2012. He's been in the promotion for 10 years. So put some respect on his name, man. He's very underrated. He almost knocked out Paul Craig before he got fucking submitted. So you got to put some respect on him, man. But yeah. Next fight up on the card is Paddy Pimblett versus Jordan Levitt. Paddy Pimblett's a -250 and -250 favourite. Jordan Levitt's a +210 underdog. The UFC knows what they're doing with this matchmaking. I'm going with Paddy Pimblett. I just believe this is easy work for Pimblett. Maybe not easy work. I think Levitt can give him some problems maybe in the grappling, but Pimblett's a much better grappler in my opinion. He's a better wrestler. Maybe not a better wrestler, but he's definitely a better grappler, and he's the much better striker. Jordan Levitt has terrible striking. I've looked back on loads of his fights. His striking is not crisp, not that great at all. Does not impress me at all. I think that's a curse, because every time I say a fighter doesn't impress me, they go and win the fight that I'm betting against them. But I do have Paddy Pimblett winning this. I actually got him winning by 3rd round TKO. I believe Jordan Levitt will gas himself out because Jordan Levitt has terrible cardio. Paddy Pimblett hasn't really had to because he's got his finishes in the first, but I feel like he has great cardio. I've seen him in Cage Warriors. He has decent cardio. He has much better cardio than Jordan Levitt, let's just say. And he's big for the lightweight division. I think Levitt's going to have a very big shock at how strong Pimblett really is, especially coming down from a fat 205. So, I got Paddy, lad. That's what I got. I got Paddy winning by 3rd round TKO. I just don't think Levitt has anything for him, in my personal opinion. Next fight up on the card is the co-main event of the evening. Jack Hermansson versus Chris Curtis. This is actually a pick'em, both -110 pick'em. This is an amazing opportunity for Chris Curtis. I actually am going to pick Chris Curtis. I believe Chris Curtis is going to get this done. Chris Curtis is the anti-wrestler, the anti-grappler. Was it against Rodolfo Vieira? I think he stuffed 20 takedowns, I believe it was. I'll have a look now. Let's have a look. Let's get my facts correct, you know? Let's get my facts correct. Stats versus Vieira. Let's have a look. I want to see, like, the stats. What was the stats? Yeah, I agree, whatever. Right, I think all the stats. I want to see if they got the stats. Have they got the stats on here? Yeah, I don't care about the record after the fight. What was, how many takedowns did he stuff? It was 20 something, or 20. Was it? Yeah, he stuffed 20 takedowns. Chris Curtis stuffed 20 takedowns against Rodolfo Vieira, time after time, and he was ripping the body, showing great boxing, and obviously he comes up from welterweight, so he's much better than middleweights. He's not trash like middleweights. And this is how I see him beating Jack Hermansson. Jack Hermansson really struggles to get people to the ground because he's more of a jiu-jitsu guy. So that's going to be even easier for Chris Curtis to stop the takedown. Chris Curtis has much better boxing, much better striking. Jack Hermansson's striking is very messy. He has decent power, but he's very messy, and he doesn't have the best of chins. Chris Curtis, for some reason, miraculously has knockout power in middleweight, but not welterweight. I don't know how, but I do believe that Chris Curtis is going to get it done. I believe he's actually going to get a first-round knockout over Jack Hermansson. I just don't see what Jack Hermansson can really do. He can catch Curtis. Of course he can catch him. It might be a scramble where Chris Curtis stuffs, but then Jack Hermansson reshoots because he has been working with Chimaev, who's a great wrestler, great grappler. So I believe that he might be able to reshoot and get a submission or a TKO, but I see Chris Curtis getting a first-round TKO, in my opinion. I just don't see what Jack Hermansson can really do. So yeah, that's my opinion. Chris Curtis, first-round TKO. Next fight on the card is the main event of the evening. Curtis Blaydes versus Tom Aspinall. Curtis Blaydes is a +10 underdog. Underdog. Tom Aspinall's a -130 favourite. Right. This is a good fight. Alright. I actually, I actually watched MMA Guru. Shout out to him again. I actually watched... My nose keeps itching on the outside. Yeah, I don't want... But... I don't even have hay fever, but yeah, I watched Shadow Guru, like I said. I watched his video on Curtis Blaydes versus Tom Aspinall. I watched his separate breakdown, and he broke it down pretty well, where he put it in words better than I could, in the sense of how Curtis Blaydes' career actually goes. He does really well in one area, and then he tries to overdo it in his next fight, and then he loses because of it. So, he did really well in the striking. I'll have a look at Curtis Blaydes' record now. Curtis Blaydes' record, right? I'll look at his record now, right? Yeah, I don't want to go by years, man. Come on. Right. Right. Obviously, right, okay. So, obviously, he did well. I can't remember who he fought outside of the UFC, but he fought someone. He did really well in the striking. He tried to engage with Ngannou. Ngannou knocks him out, right? Right. Against Alistair Overeem, right? He gets his wrestling, but he mixes in a lot of striking. You realise he did really well in the striking. He fights Ngannou again. He gets TKO'd again by Ngannou. Against Volkov, he shows a lot of wrestling, which is his bread and butter. He's very crisp. He's like your thing, but he didn't beat Volkov nowhere near as impressively as Tom Aspinall did, but I'll get to that in a minute. Curtis Blaydes was gassing, but he was overdoing the wrestling. He was forcing the takedowns on Volkov, and Volkov actually won the last 2 rounds, in my opinion. So Volkov was starting to win that fight because Curtis Blaydes was gassing because he was forcing the takedowns, and he was only getting them because of his brute strength. And then against Derek Lewis, he tries to force the wrestling continuously, even though he's beating Lewis on the feet. Lewis throws an uppercut. When he goes for a predictable double leg, knocks him out cold. So this is the trajectory of his career. Now, his last fight, he KO'd Chris Daukaus, right? And the thing is, right, he's done really well in certain areas. He tries to overdo it. I think he's going to try and overdo the striking with Tom Aspinall, and I think he's actually going to get taken down and submitted. Tom Aspinall is the future of the heavyweight division, in my opinion. This is a bold statement, but him and Cyril Gane should be champ right now, because that was a robbery decision that Ngannou got over him. Cry over it, but it is what it is. Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gane is the future of the heavyweight division. And when John Jones comes in, he might be champ, right? And I actually do see John Jones beating Gane, but that's a topic for another discussion. But Tom Aspinall, I see him having his way with Blaydes in a way that nobody has before. He has much better cardio, in my opinion. I've seen him outside the UFC. He has much better cardio. And the way he embarrassed Volkov compared to how Blaydes fought was night and day. The way he was slipping punches and just landing on Volkov and then landing leg kicks, outstriking one of the best strikers in that entire division. And then not only outstriking him, slipping punches and timing double legs, not after the force of wrestling like Chris, not Chris. I know they both got Curtis in their name, but Curtis Blaydes. Curtis Blaydes was having to force that, which was making him gas out. I don't think Tom Aspinall has to force anything. He didn't against Volkov, and I don't think he will have to against Blaydes. I think Tom Aspinall is going to get a third round submission, and I believe even if it goes past the third round, I think Curtis Blaydes is going to gas from the pace, and Aspinall will finish him in the later rounds. But I think he's going to finish him before he gets to the gassing points for Blaydes. I got Tom Aspinall by second round submission. I believe it's not going to be a Kimura. I believe he's going to get him down, and I believe he's going to arm triangle him. That's how I see it going. And I just don't see anything that Curtis Blaydes can do from that position. I think Curtis Blaydes is going to do well in the first 2 rounds, where Aspinall maybe squeaks out one, Blaydes squeaks out the other. But the third round, Aspinall shows how much better his striking is, and Blaydes is getting desperate trying to shoot takedowns. Tom Aspinall has great takedown defense. I believe and even then he has very threatening jiu-jitsu, which is amazing. And yeah, I just don't see Curtis Blaydes able to hold him against the cage, or even if he does it, I don't see Tom Aspinall being in any danger. And I just believe he'll get desperate and try to overdo the striking, and then he'll be like, and then he'll try to overdo the wrestling, where I believe when he throws a jab, I believe Tom Aspinall will slip, get him down, and just submit him. But yeah, that's how I see the fights going, guys. Obviously, I had a terrible run last time, but that's just the way the game goes. You bet, you go with the logical picks, and you could still lose. But yeah, those are my predictions, guys. I hope you enjoy. Go check out my TikTok too. I got an edit coming on the way. It's not quite out yet, but thank you guys for the support. I'll see you guys soon.